Boker Tov, welcome to Agudath Israel Eitz Chaim Synagogue here in Montgomery, Alabama. It's rainy, cold this morning, but it's warm in here in this sanctuary and with you in your home. I am Rabbi Scott Kramer. Welcome to our Monday morning Shacharit service. We are praying out of Siddur Sim Shalom weekday. And I invite you to turn to page 6 and please rise for the Birchot HaShachar, the blessings of the morning. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher natan lasech v'vina levkin ben yom uvein laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam shesani b'tzomo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam shesani Yisrael. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam shesani ben chorin. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam pokeach ivrim. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam mabish aramim. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam matihir asurim. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam zakev kefufim. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam rakal haaretz alamayim. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam sha'asali kol tzarki. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam ozesra bigvura. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam otesra b'tifara. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam hanotehin la'oev koach. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Utenein hayom v'chol yom l'chein l'chesed rachamim b'necha v'nechun v'tigmalenu chesedim tovim baruch Adonai gomer chesedim tovim le'amo Yisrael. You may be seated. We continue page 14 with Psalm 30. Mizmor shir chanukah d'bayla David. הפכת מספרי למוחלי פיתקתי סחי ואזגני שמחה למען יזמר כבוד ולא ידום אדוני אלוהי לעולם עודך. We rise, page 16, for Baruch She'amar. Baruch She'amar ve'ya olam Baruch hu. Baruch Haseh v'reshit Baruch Hameh v'yoseh. Baruch gozer umkayim Baruch merachim al haaretz. Baruch mirachim al habriot, Baruch mishalem sachar tov l'rev, Baruch chai v'kayam l'netzach, Baruch p'domatzia Baruch shemo, Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Yachid chelamim melech mishibach v'dashim agado, Baruch et Adonai melech mehulal batishpachot. You may be seated. We continue with Ashrei, page 21. Ashrei Yoshvei Veitech Od Yiluch Hasela. Ashrei Shranai Elohav. Zilha David. Tilat Adonai debar pihi v'voreko b'asher shim kodshul elam v'ed v'anachnu nevarechya mi'atav yalam. Hallelujah. Middle of page 25, Psalm 150. Hallelujah, hallelujah, el b'kodesh b'kiya uzo, hallelujah v'gvor tavalakor gudlo, hallelujah b'tek ha'shofar, hallelujah b'neve v'chinor, hallelujah b'netof v'machol, hallelujah b'minim v'yugav, hallelujah v'tziotz le'shema, hallelujah v'tziotz le'trua, kol neshamat alaya, hallelujah, kol neshama tahalaya. Hallelujah. Baruch Adonai le'olam amen v'amen. Baruch Mitzion Shechein Yerushalayim. Hallelujah. Baruch Adonai Elohim Elohei Yisrael Nifla Levado. Baruch Shem Kavodo Levi Melech Vet Koretz. Amen v'amen. Page 29. Yishtabach Shimcha Le'ad Malkeinu. Barachot vedot mirtav yalulam baruch et Adonai melech adoba tishpachot elodot Adonai niflot habocher b'shirei zimra melech alchei ha'olamim. We rise as we begin Shacharit proper, page 30 for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. Please rise if you are able. Baruch Hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai varach le'olam va'ed. Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech olam yotzer uvarecho shecho se shalom uvarei et hakol. You may be seated. Ha'me'ilot v'ladorim. Tiparach Adonai Eloheinu shevach ma'aseh yadecha v'yamarei shasiti yafaru chesela. Tiparach Shurenu Malkeinu v'golein borei kadoshim shtabach shimcha le'ad Malkeinu. וכולם פותחים את פיהם בקדושת טהרה בשיעור זמרה מברכים משבחים דברים מריצים ומקדישים וממליכים את שמו אל המלך הגדול גיבור בנו קדוש הוא. וכולם מקבלים עליהם מלכות שמיים זה מזה ונודחים ברשות זה לזה להקדיש לעצמם מנחת רוח בשפה ורבנים הקדושה כולם כחרונים ויאמרים ביראה Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melech Haaretz Kavodo, V'ofanim v'chayot HaKodesh Barash Kadom Menat Matzarafim, Limatam Meshavachim Yamarim Baruch Adonai, Mim Komo, La'el Baruch Nimhod Yiteinu. We're on page 31 at the bottom. Or Chadash Shal Tzion Ta'ivin Izkecholan Mehera La'ora Baruch et Adonai Yotzer HaMihorot, page 32. It is traditional to gather the four tzitzit of our talit, of our prayer shawl, if you are wearing one. Gather them in preparation for the Shema on the next page. We are on page 32. Avra b'vetanu Adonai Eloheinu chemla gadavdech malta aleinu. V'kerabtan l'shimcha gadol sela b'yamet lahodol l'cho yechedecha b'yahava baruch et Adonai habocher b'yamo Yisrael B'Ahava. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ho'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinanatam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shachpecha v'kamecha קשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות ביניך, וכתבתם מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך, והיה אם שמוע תשמעו אל מצוותי. ידיכם והיו לטוטפות ביניכם. ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת להם ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורתם ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו זכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תטו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. לדוברו קיים ושמו קיים וחיסונכון מלכותו ואמונתו לעד קיימת. We're at the bottom, page 34. Udvar Chaim Kayamim. Emet shatahu Adonai Eloheinu ve'elovatenu makinu melech avotenu golenu goel el avotenu yotzrenu sur yeshotenu podenu matzilenu me'elam shemecha ein Elohim zulatecha hezrat vatenatahu me'olam. Page 35. Tilot la'el elyon brachum v'racha Moshe uvnei Yisrael chaneshira b'simcha rabba v'yamaru chulam mi chamocha ba'ilim Adonai mi kamocha l'rabba kodesh norati lo tosef ele shira chadasha shibachu ge'ula shimcha sfat hayam yachad kulam hodu v'himlechu v'yamaru Adonai yimloch le'lam vo'ed Tzur Yisrael, Kuma B'Ezrat Yisrael, Uftechinu Mecha Yehuda V'Yisrael, Kol Adonai Tzavahot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ka'ol Yisrael. We rise for the Amidah for weekday Shacharit, pages 36 through 44. We begin together on page 36b. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Eloheinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah האל הגדול גיבור והנורא אל עליון גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ומביא גואל לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר פוקד ומשיח מגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ופקד שרה אתה גיבור ליל המנוראי מחיי מתים רב להושיע משיב הרוח מוריד הגשם מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נפלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים, מקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה מצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו משמי מרום. ככתוב ביד נביאך וכרז זה ויאמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות מלך הארץ כבודו, לעומתם ברוך ימיהו, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. ובדברי קודשך כתוב לאמור, ימלוך אדוני לעולם ציון לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גולך ונצח נצחים, קדושך דנקדיש. ושבחך מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי המלך קדוש וקדוש אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We will continue with our virtual Torah service, page 65. I ask everyone to please rise as the ark is opened for the Torah service. ויהי בן אהרון ויאמר משה, קום אדוני ואויביך וינוס משנאיך מפניך, כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים, ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. גדלו לאדוני תנרוממה שמו יחדיו, לכל הגדולה והגבור והנצח וההוד, כי כל בשמיים ובארץ לך מלאכה מתנשא לכל ראש. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו וישתחוו לאדם רגליו קדוש הוא. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו וישתחוו להר קדשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. You may be seated. This week we begin the longest sustained narrative of any one person in the Torah, and that of course has to do with the stories of Joseph. We meet him when he's 17 years old, and we And at the end of the Torah, we find him on his deathbed. And we find his story from all different ages. The only personage in the Torah that we know from birth, literally from birth to teenage years, to young adult, to old age, and on his deathbed. We begin this Torah portion, which is called Vayeshev, Genesis chapter 37, verse 1. Vayeshev Yaakov be'eretz migurei aviv be'eretz Canaan, Eile toledot Yaakov Yosef ben 17 shana v'haya ro'eh et achiv batzon ve'hu nar et bnei Bilha v'et bnei Zilpa nishei aviv vayaveh Yosef et dibatam ra el avihem v'Yisrael ahav et Yosef mikol banav kiven zekunim hu lo ve'asa lo ketonet pasim. Second Aliyah, Genesis chapter 37, verse 4. Vayiru echav ki oto av avihem mikol achav v'yisnu oto v'lo yachalu dabro l'shalom v'yachalom Yosef chalom v'yaged le'echav v'yosifod sna'oto v'yomer alehem shim'u na החלום הזה אשר חלמתי, והנה אנחנו עלומים בתוך השדה, והנה כמה אלומתי וגם ניצבה, והנה תסובנה אלומותיכם, תשתחוונה לאלומתי. Third, final Aliyah, Genesis chapter 37, verse 8. Vayomer lo echav hamalok timloch aleinu ki mashol timshol banu v'yosif od snoto ad achalomata ve'al devarav v'yachalom od chalom acher v'yisaper oto lecha vayomer הנה חלמתי חלום עוד, והנה השמש והירח, מ11 כוכבים משתחווים לי, ויספר אל אביו, ואל אחיו, ויגער בו אביו, ויאמר לו מה, החלום הזה אשר חלמת, הבוא נבוא, אני ואמך ואחיך, להשתחוות לך ארצה ויקנאו בו אחיו ואביו שמר את הדבר. Now I will read a synopsis of, and it's a very, very long narrative. I'll just read the first page, and I'll read the bulk of it on Thursday. Favoring one child over another had caused much strife between Jacob and his brother. So you'd think, when his own sons came along, that Jacob would know better and you'd be wrong. Joseph could do no wrong in his father's eyes, though some of his behaviors were, well, unwise. He tattled on his brothers at every opportunity and always got away with it with impunity. The last straw for his brothers was when Jacob gave Joe a coat with all the colors of the rainbow. His brothers hated Joseph for being their dad's fave, and they could not ever to him in a decent way behave. To make matters even worse, little Joseph had a dream. This kid was never plagued by low self-esteem. We were binding sheaves in the field, and yours were all around. And then my sheaf arose, and to it your sheaves bowed down. Well, you can just imagine how this dream sat with the guys. This kid was riding for a fall, and him they did despise. Oblivious to all their hate, Joe dreamed a dream anew. The sun and the moon and all the stars just bowed down to guess who? His father gently chided him for such a show of ego. To worship you shall all your brothers and your mom and me go? One day the brothers took the flocks and then went to Dothan. Joseph went to find them and see what was going on. They saw him coming, and they pounced on Papa's favorite. They might have killed him, but instead they threw him in a pit. Before they threw him in the pit, his coat off him they stripped. And when a caravan came by on its way to Egypt, they sold him into slavery and got paid handsomely, without the slightest inkling that one day, on bended knee, they'd come to him a-begging, and no one would recognize that this was the same brother whom all now did despise. I'll read one more paragraph. They despised a plan wherein they took the many-colored coat and dipped it so cleverly in the blood of a he-goat. Playing dumb, they asked old Jacob if he recognized the garment. My dear son Joe's been torn to bits by some disgusting varmint. Old Jake was inconsolable. Though all his kids did try, I'd mourn my dear son Joseph till the very day I die. And we'll read the other half of that on Thursday. Now I will do a Mishaberach for those in and out of our community in need of a blessing of healing for spiritual, emotional, or physical. Mishaberach Avotenu Avram Yitzchak Yaakov Savkarach V'Leahu Yivarech V'Chapeh Et Terry Aronov, Helen Byrne, Rhonda Blitz, Baruch Ben Elisheva, Arnott Fash, Sheila Gidry, Chana Batzar, Linda Smith, Marjorie Allen, Charles Miller, Sherry Russ, Iris Butt Rivka, Becca Martinez, Isaac Ben Joseph, Marsha Orange, Harab Malki, Sedek Ben Barucha, Michelle Zucker, Beckett Quinn Bowman, Jerry Weisenfeld, Gabe Booley, Jeannie Meiser, Miriam Batina, Tara Martinez Fernandez, Liz Wolko, Deanna Barber, Miriam Butt Rivka, Taraz Butt Ruth, Mark Platnick, Marlone Jermaine Barnes, Virginia Madden, Raymond Lobato Jr., Natalie Copeland, Christopher Hill, Lorenzo Rivera, Tana Bullard Rivera, Ed Jackman, Scott Decker, Bayless Bus Rivka, William Williams, Marilyn Fadomsky, Jim Mittenswy, Lucy and Tilly Caldwell, Danny and BJ Bierman, Sheila Decker, Todd Bapp, Eugene Lobato, Dana Driscoll, and Razel Bat Taraz. V'et kol chim b'kila kadosha agudath Ezra Tzachayim v'kila Temple Beth Or Kadosh Baruch Hu malei rachamim aleim malachas gam b'chabatam v'shlach leim meforsh leim menashemat v'nefesh v'daguf b'tok sha'acholei Ezra v'chazek yidei eskan b'tzarcheihem hashta b'galav ezman kariv v'nomar Amen. We now rise again to return the virtual Sefer Torah, page 76. Yahalalu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shema levado, hodu al eretz v'shamayim vayon kaleamo, tila lachol chasidav livnei eschem chavo, hallelujah, lidavid mizmor, ladonach alav, v'tev levio shveva. Uvnucho Yomar, page 77. Ki lekach tov natati lachem torati al tazovu etz chayimi lamachazikim ba ותומכיה מיושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש חדש ימינו חדש ימינו כקדם. You may be seated. Page 78. Ashrei Yoshvei Veitech. Tilat Adonai bar pivi v'reiku b'sershim k'tfil elam v'ed v'nachnu nivrech yom yotav elam. Hallelujah. Lam natzech mizmor leDavid. Adonai shemachinenu v'yom kareinu, page 80. Uvaletzion goel v'shafesh shab Yaakov nam Adonai v'nizmor. V'yada kadosh yoshev diled yischa v'kazaz v'yamhar kadosh 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 and lights v'op l'charetz kavodo. V'atisher roch v'shmar chorai koch ashkaro baruch v'adonai mimkom. Adonai mloch lilam v'ohid. Vayivtechu v'cho yedei shemech yiklavdu d'shech Adonai Adonai chvetzman zid go yagdir Torah v'yadir. We rise once again as the ark is open for Aleinu, page 83. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'tet gdula l'yotzer bereshit shalo asan k'goyei haratzot v'lo samanu k'mishmachot adama shalo sam chelkeinu kahem v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim l'fnei melech malchei amlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Gagadu b'doratech Adonai imloch le'lam v'ho'ed v'nehemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz bayom mahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo Echad. Those observing Yahrzeit and those who mourn remain standing. And join me, page 84, for the Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabba b'yomah divrach v'rutei v'yamlech malchutei v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayedechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agalav izman karivim amen. Yesh me Rabba mevarach le'lam umel maya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitchomam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalel shmei d'kudishah barichu. Leilam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran b'yoma v'yimaru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimaru. Amen. Ose shalom b'imramav hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimaru. Amen. You may be seated. We'll conclude our service. Page, sorry. Put the wrong cam on. I apologize for that. Page 86, the Psalm for Monday. On the second day of the week, the Levites recited the Psalm in the temple. A psalm of the sons of Korach. Great is Adonai and highly praised in the city of our God, his holy mountain. Splendid, sublime on the north is Mount Zion, joy of all the earth, city of the great sovereign. God is known in her citadels as a refuge. The kings conspired in advance, but when they saw her, they were astounded. Panic stunned them. They fled in fright, seized with trembling like a woman in labor, shattered like a fleet wrecked by an east wind. What we once heard, we have now witnessed in the city of Adonai Tzavot, in the city of our God. May God preserve it forever. In your temple, God, we meditate upon your kindness, your glory, like your name reaches the ends of the earth. Your right hand is filled with beneficence. Let the mountain of Zion be glad. Let the cities of Judah rejoice because of your judgments. Walk all about Zion, encircle her, count her towers, review her ramparts, scan her citadels, then tell her story to later generations. Tell of our God who will guide us forever. So, Boker Tov, thank you all for joining me this morning. I hope that all of you have a wonderful Thanksgiving this Thursday. I will still be here at 7:15 a.m. for our morning service on Thursday. Hanukkah, the next holiday of Hanukkah, comes very early this year. It begins next Sunday night. Let's see, what is the day? Is that November 28th? Let me see. November 28th. At sundown is the first candle. So again, that's the weekend after Thanksgiving, November 28th. And just a couple things of note. On December 10th and 11th, we are going to be opening up the synagogue to you. Anyone who's within driving distance of our synagogue are welcome to come in and join us for services beginning Friday night, December 10th. We just ask that you be vaccinated and practice social distancing and masking, but you are welcome to come join me for our services, our Shabbat services, and then subsequently our morning services on Mondays and Thursdays as well. So we really look forward to that. Something else to put on your calendar at the end of December, Saturday morning, December 25th, we're going to have two cantorial students that are going to be co-leading services. Toria Stark from Auburn and Carl Sayers from Seattle. They both have incredible voices. You will not want to miss this service, December 25th. And of course, all of those you within driving distance, you may come and join us for services that morning. But we will also still be online as well. So have no fear of that. So with that, I wish you all a Boker Tov. Have a great week.